NASDAQ fighting for positive territory here with 30 minutes left. Broadcom this afternoon, definitely going to be a highlight. Let's take a look at some of the options there for anyone trying to put on a last-minute trade with 30 minutes left. Shane Skinner joins us, manager of trader services at Charles Schwab and Co. Incorporated. What's up, Shane? Let's talk Broadcom here first, since it's a little bit more time sensitive. I know you got some S&P levels for us too, but what stands out to you with Broadcom?
Yeah, right out the gate, Broadcom 155, right? That level is huge. There's a ton of concentration, almost the most on the put side, definitely the most on the call side, making that the largest net GEX level and being positive. So that this 155 level, if we can hold here, keep support, you're bullish. This holds, it looks like 60, 65. We're springboarding straight up 5 to 10 points. Should be solid, at least get back to where we opened, hopefully, on the week, on Tuesday. Vice versa, bearish downside flip point where net gamma really starts to turn negative. Looks like it's that 148 to 150 level. So if 55 gives, and then you get down to that 48.50 level, kind of like we saw in the video last week, you might get that test down below another 2, 3, maybe even 5 points. But be prepared for some big support down there, and that 55 and 50 level to act as kind of a magnet here for either side we end up jumping towards.
Okay. The technicals seem to line up pretty well, too, with that, with the gamma levels there, because there's a pretty gappy trade basically from like 160 to 155. So the idea is that we could move through that area pretty quick, and then there's some kind of a pull higher, maybe up into the 70 level if the number's nice.
Exactly. If you're a vol seller, you're really looking to eye that 50 level, right? If that gives, who knows what's going to happen. You've also got tomorrow being a big day as well, just numbers wise in general for the economy. So, you're hoping, if you're a vol seller here with Broadcom specifically, you want to see that 50 level hold. You might be selling puts down below. You might be selling calls up above in the 60-65 range if you're looking to get called away on shares, or maybe get some premium, but sort of test the edge and what we expect to see in terms of movement there.
Yeah, with tomorrow also data in the morning, the implied IV for the strike tomorrow, the expiry tomorrow, is 150 for Broadcom. So market's looking for some action here.
Yeah, you got a double whammy of big earnings at a big time, and then the next morning you got a huge jobs number. So this is definitely a loaded stock here, where we could see a big pop. I wonder if we might see vol get squished. Who knows? Should be interesting, to say the least. If
we crack 150, point is what? There's another level of support at like 145-ish, so we should be able to hang above last month's lows, or what? Or is it just all fall apart?
Yeah, 145, I would say you probably get a little support. 40 starts to pick up down there actually as well. So if that turns into, a meltdown, you would be looking at 45 next, and if that goes, you might give another 5.
Got it. All right, so we're at 155 right now. It seems like if the report doesn't go well, it's unlikely to be a small move. That's kind of what I'm kind of thinking about. Whereas if it's a solid report, the upside, it seems like that's a little bit of a tougher wall maybe to get through at your like 160 maybe. Whereas if it slips and it's not good, it feels like maybe the spiral effect is bigger there. Am I interpreting that right or no?
Yeah. And if Broadcom gets caught up in the broader market moving down as well, potentially, that's just a recipe for disaster for them. And like we said, that 40-45 is where we're looking in terms of level. This being at 155, $5 move in this isn't that unheard of. Now you start to see something like a 10 to 15 point move. Now we're getting closer to a 10% swing. Those would be currently, with the way things are being priced in, would say those aren't priced in at this moment in time. I don't think they're looking for a 10-point move, 15-point move in this. I think it's looking like a 5. So we'll see. We might, like we said, if it gets caught up in the broader market, go for a spiral.
Yeah. All right. Let's talk about the broader market. S&P's 5508 right now and change, basically within yesterday's range. So our vol coming in a little bit. What are you seeing? Did anything change kind of from the setup yesterday, or are we mostly at kind of the same levels and stuff?
So it was very interesting. Yesterday's picture was very similar. A lot of net negative gamma. It was nasty. And yet it held. It was resilient, possibly just sort of pinning into that big number expected here on Friday. We know sometimes that if Friday has a big enough event and enough weight around that expiration, it can have a bit of a pinning effect on the days before, a deciding factor in what gets to happen those days. So with that being said, and with today, you open up, you almost hit 55.50, and then you drop straight down to 80, within an hour. That's not the nicest move. And if you're long deltas, you just got ran over. And if you're short deltas, you're foaming at the mouth for more. If you notice, though, after breaking down to that 70 or 80 level, 75 seems to be a pretty solid support. It's almost like last stand in terms of the GEX profile in general. There really doesn't seem to be much down there beyond that 75 level. And so not a surprise that we found a little bit of support about 5 points above that. And then look at that. We retrace right back to the large, pocket up at 55.15. Just to give right back down and go test that 75.80 area again. So, this is a situation where this is classic net negative day. You get your big move down early in the morning, little bit of a retracement halfway through the day that sets up for another nice little drop here in the market. So, that 55.15 level is where I was expecting us to maybe hold. I don't see us really melting back up to that top level there where we started the day. But, somewhere between 5,500, 55.15 seems to be where this market wants to be going into the jobs number tomorrow.
All right. Good analysis like that. And the last stand down at 54.70 if it comes to it. All right. Cool. Thank you, Shane. Good luck at the market. Headed tomorrow. Broadcom as well. Shane Skinner.